This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Peter Dubois.
And I'm Beth Jones. First tonight, MDI High School was put on lockdown earlier today after a threat was made.
Our Susan Farley joins us now live with the details. Susan?
It's been a very long day for students and staff at Mount Desert Island High School. It's been an equally long day for their parents as they waited for word on what was going on. It all began around 12:30 this afternoon when the school got what the police are calling a serious threat. The school went into lockdown and the police arrived and they began working with school administration to begin addressing the situation.
And she has been under a desk since 12:30 this afternoon. She has not been notified of anything other than just stay down, stay quiet. She's hungry and thirsty in restrooms, and there's other children coming out, but she still has heard nothing.
All of the students were bused here to Mount Desert Island Elementary School. A long line of parents formed as they waited to show identification and begin the reunification process. There's no word yet on what the threat was. We'll have more information for you as it becomes available. Back to you.
All right, Susan, thank you very much. Well, one person died and another was injured in a crash in Washington County yesterday. It happened just before 7:30 on Route 192 in Northfield. Washington County Sheriff Barry Curtis says an investigation determined a car driven by 33-year-old Helen Dominato of Massachusetts crossed the center line into the path of a truck driven by 65-year-old William Sternberg of Jonesboro. Dominato died at the scene. Sternberg was taken to a local hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Curtis says the crash is still under investigation, but speed and alcohol do not appear to have been factors.
There's a boil water order in place for the town of Howland, and it could be in effect for weeks. Crews from the town were flushing hydrants yesterday afternoon when they discovered the water pressure starting to drop. They determined there was a leak in the water system. They then notified the town of Lincoln, where they get their water from, to see how many gallons they were using.
Normally it ranges anywhere from 45 to 65 gallons a minute. Last night at the peak of it, they was sending us 800 gallons a minute, and we wasn't making any headway in our standpipe.
Crews from the town had been out shutting off water mains to try to figure out where the leaks are exactly. The town manager says they hope to have the leaks found and fixed today. Lloyd also says the boil water order should be in place for up to a couple of weeks. In the meantime, the town is working with Maine Emergency Management to bring in water for residents.
Well, switching gears now, Governor Janet Mills says she's not ready to leave the Blaine House. Mills is running for re-election in hopes of serving as Maine's governor for another 4 years. Our Jody Hersey has more.
In 2019, Janet Mills became Maine's first female governor, and she's not ready to give up the title yet.
First day in office, I, by executive order, implemented the people's will and expanded Medicaid so that now more than 90,000 people in Maine have health care who didn't have it before.
Mills is running for re-election against Republican candidate Paul LePage, who has also served as the governor of Maine in years past. However, Mills says she and her opponent could not be more different, especially when it comes to Roe v. Wade.
I do not believe that women's rights and women's health care are things that are dispensable. Women are not second-rate citizens. We deserve every part of health care that we can get, and I will stand for those rights every day that I am the governor of the state of Maine.
Mills is just as passionate about fighting for more affordable housing here in the state and for better internet service for those working from home.
Workforce housing is at a critical stage. We need workforce housing. We need child care, and we're expanding our child care opportunities right now to keep working parents on the job. More broadband, high-speed internet is critical in this 21st century.
If elected, Mills says economic recovery for the state and its citizens will continue to be her priority.
I've been talking to businesses and individuals up and down the state to help us on the road to recovery. economic recovery, and that's what I want to focus on in the next 4 years.
In Bangor, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Inflation relief checks have been sent to more than 850,000 Mainers, and the deadline to file a 2021 income tax return to get a check has now closed. The Mills administration says the $850 checks, or $1,700 for the average Maine family, was intended to help people deal with rising costs. The relief payments gave back more than half of the state's surplus. The measure was proposed by Governor Mills in her supplemental budget and drew on an idea from Republican lawmakers. It was overwhelmingly passed by the state legislature.
Well, a few neighboring towns have the opportunity to replace 3 aging school buildings all at once. A.J. Douglas sat down with the superintendent of MSAD 49 to find out how.
On Election Day, Albion, Clinton, Benton, and Fairfield residents will vote on 2 special referendum questions. One question will request authorization for a new school building located at a proposed site in Benton. Residents will also have the chance to decide if a $1.8 million gymnasium expansion should take place. The gym project will also add more bleachers for public use.
So we're consolidating into one campus for efficiencies. And we have the issue of 3 aging school buildings that have really reached their life expectancy.
A teacher from Benton Elementary says she and her peers have concerns about the focus on a new school building when local teachers have not received raises and some employees do not have medical benefits. Hersom says the new school building consolidation will be paid for entirely by the state.
The bulk of the cost of the project, a little over $45 million, is subsidized by the state. So a new school is essentially free to our school community.
Hersom says the school district will provide transportation to the new school, which supporters say will provide multiple benefits for years to come.
It is something that is going to take the burden off the local community.
The superintendent reminds voters the district may not get a second chance at this opportunity, and if residents approve the consolidation project, then Benton Elementary will be the new location for a universal kindergarten system available to parents. In Fairfield, A.J. Douglas, ABC 7, Fox 22.
Millinocket is once again accepting recyclables at the curb. Due to the change, though, many items are now banned from trash pickup and must be recycled. Cardboard, paperboard, egg crates, and package containers, magazines, newspapers, tin cans, plastic containers, metal, office paper, and other items must now be recycled per town ordinance. For more information and a complete list of required recyclables, you can head to the Town of Millinocket's website.
Well, with daylight savings around the corner, fire officials are issuing a routine but important reminder to test your smoke alarms.
We recommend changing the batteries every 6 months, so we recommend changing your batteries in the spring and in the fall. We also recommend that you test your smoke detectors every single month.
Assistant Chief Bean says not testing your smoke and carbon monoxide alarms can result in serious consequences. Anyone that needs help testing their equipment is encouraged to call their local fire department, where they will be guided step by step on how to do so. Definitely a very important reminder there as we start switching to heating fuels and, however you're heating your home, it can create some hazards. So you just want to make sure that those protective measures are in place and functioning in your home. They're crucial.
Absolutely, yeah. And like you said, with daylight savings right around the corner, just another good time to remind people.
All right, well, let's turn things over, take a first look at our forecast, see what's coming our way.
All right, Beth and Peter, thank you. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather is brought to you by GRF Real Estate Company. And okay, so temperature-wise today, look what we did. Keep in mind, the average high temperature is 53. We're at 66 today, 63 Millinocket. It's warm out there, but there are a couple sprinkles across the area now and some cloud cover. You might see a couple more sprinkles tonight. Overall, this is a dying out trend. We'll stay mostly quiet tomorrow, and really our next chance for meaningful rain after tonight's sprinkles, not until probably Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. So our forecast then tonight, though, is partly cloudy skies or decreasing clouds. Look for low temperatures down near 45. Your full forecast is coming up. Beth and Peter.
All righty, so another pretty calm overnight on the way.
Yeah, we definitely love seeing those nice mild temperatures, not too cold, but not warm.
Yeah,
done with the warm overnights.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're cool enough. All right, well, coming up on ABC 7 News at 6, a new immersive 360-degree virtual reality classroom recently opened at Piscataquis Community Elementary School. We'll take you there.
And local health leaders put an emphasis on early detection during Lung Cancer Awareness Month. We'll have those stories and much more when we come right back.
Jared Golden says one thing in Maine, another thing in Washington.
Thanks to Biden and his golden boy, Jared, everything is more expensive.
Heating oil is through the roof, and winter is coming.
Jared Golden's policies are going to make people decide whether to heat or to eat.
What's Jared Golden done about it?
He voted to raise taxes on every Mainer.
Jared Golden, independent when it's convenient and liberal when it matters.
Sounds like a typical politician to me.
Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I would love to retire. The truth is, because of Joe Biden and Jared Golden's policies, there is no way that I can retire. What Jared Golden does and what Jared Golden says are 180 degrees apart. When Jared Golden goes to D.C., he votes the party line. Gas prices, our groceries. Jared Golden's votes are definitely making inflation worse. We need to make a change. We need Bruce Poliquin.
I'm Bruce Poliquin, and I approve this message.
In Maine, it's always buying season. And at Thornton Brothers in Lincoln, we carry new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Rams for your buying season. Here at Thornton Brothers, we'll help you find the right vehicle specifically for you to suit your lifestyle. As they say, the proof is in the performance. So come on over and test drive a real vehicle from a real dealership, or place your order with us and see why it really is buying season here in Maine. Thornton Brothers, Main Street, Lincoln.
I'm Jay Pearl from Carroll Harper & Associates, Maine's most experienced Medicare health plans agency. Every day we hear how complicated navigating the Medicare maze can be. Let us help. From enrolling in Medicare to finding the right Medicare health plan, we are your go-to agency. We represent Martins Point Generations Advantage and other Medicare health plans that meet our quality standards. There's no cost or obligation for our services, so call Carroll Harper & Associates today.
Jared Golden and the Democrats by the numbers. The worst inflation in 40 years. Home heating, groceries, gasoline, all through the roof. 87,000 new IRS agents. $20 billion in new taxes on the middle class. All because 83% of the time, Jared Golden votes with Biden and Pelosi. On November 8, stop the Democrats' war on the middle class. Defeat Jared Golden. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back. A new immersive 360-degree virtual reality classroom recently opened at Piscataquis Community Elementary School. Matthew Jurancic has the story.
In a stark contrast from typical school classrooms with desks and a whiteboard, students at Piscataquis Community Elementary School are incorporating a new learning setting, a 360-degree immersed learning classroom. Piscataquis Community Elementary School Principal Anita Wright advocated for this state-of-the-art room.
I realized that it had components that would allow for teaching, like especially with STEM, and it would also allow students to see places and have exposure that they wouldn't otherwise have.
The idea for a 360-degree virtual reality classroom was brought up during the pandemic to help students retain more information.
It began during the shutdown in 2020 in researching what might help students when they re-entered school. And at that time, virtual reality, I was reading about that it was a leading therapy, if you will, for anxiety, depression.
This project was funded through the Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief Grant. Teaming up with Dr. Pamela Thompson of Thomas College, she helped pitch the idea and helped during the design process of the classroom, which helped students learn in a way they've never experienced before.
It allows access for learners all over the globe to go all over the globe. You can be immersed in all sorts of environments. And so what it does is it brings those experiences to any learner.
The classroom can bring students to places almost anywhere in the world, including the Bahamas and Antarctica.
I just want them to be able to see the world outside of this rural Maine. Like if I'm reading a novel and it's taking place in a castle in Scotland, I want to take them to that castle in Scotland before we start and build that background knowledge for them to be able to understand what they're reading about or what they're learning about. I think.
And the students say they are so blown away with what this classroom can do.
It's really cool. I think it's really cool that I'm in one of the only schools that has a 360 room.
And even teachers say this state-of-the-art room is already paying dividends.
That it really just brings them right into focus of what the lesson is about. It really engages them. They have a lot more questions when they get done coming out of this room. Really makes them be thinkers.
Matthew Juronsik, ABC7 and Fox 22.
Well, it is Lung Cancer Awareness Month, and that disease kills 433 Americans every day. To put that number in perspective, it's the same number of seats on a 747 airplane. Maine's lung cancer rates are 30% higher than the national average. Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center is offering lung cancer screenings at all of its hospitals across the state. They say early detection is key.
The low-dose lung cancer screening, it's there to detect these early stage cancers when you have no symptoms and when there are more treatment options available to you, and it gives you the best chance of survival.
With expanded eligibility from most insurance companies, more people are eligible for the screening. It takes about 5 minutes and there is no IV involved. You can get more information by calling the Northern Light Lung Cancer Screening Program at 973-5822. We'll certainly have that information on our website as well. Important, get your screening.
Absolutely, and they always say early detection can save so many lives. So especially if you're in a high-risk group, you got to go out and get tested.
Absolutely. Well, still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, the University of Maine kicks off a food drive aimed at helping Orono students and faculty in need of assistance.
And in sports, Maine women's soccer prepares for a run in the America East playoffs. What lies ahead for the team? We'll have that story right after the break.
In Maine, our independence, hard work, and freedoms mean everything, but not to Paul LePage. He's repeatedly attacked women's reproductive freedom. LePage supported letting states ban abortion with no exceptions for rape or incest, defunded family planning programs, and told extremists we shouldn't have abortion. He's a risk to our health and freedom, and it's why we can't go back to Paul LePage. The top funder of Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
Inflation, a broken supply chain, and high gas prices. Mainers everywhere are facing tough decisions about rising costs. Growing up as part of a small family business in Leeds, I learned what a struggling economy does to small businesses, jobs, and to working class people. And serving as a Marine in Afghanistan and Iraq taught me to stand strong for what's right in the face of adversity. I'm Jared Golden, and that's why in Congress, I'm an independent voice for you, taking on my own party to stand up for Maine families. I was the only Democrat to vote against trillions of dollars of President Biden's agenda because I knew it would make inflation worse. I helped pass new laws to rebuild our nation's infrastructure and begin to repair our broken supply chain. And I'm fighting Biden's failed energy policy, forcing him to drill more American oil to lower gas prices. I'll always be an independent fighter for you. I'm Jared Golden, and this is my family. I approve this message because when it comes to doing what's right for your family, I'll never back down.
I'm a Republican.
I'm a Republican.
I was a Republican state senator, and I voted for Paul LePage, but I won't again.
Never again.
Tantrums, distractions,
fighting.
It's just bad behavior that costs Maine.
Janet Mills, she brings people together.
She doesn't care whose idea it is.
As long as it's good for Maine.
She balanced budgets without raising taxes.
We're Mainers.
Not complainers.
And that's why I'm voting for Janet Mills.
She fights problems, not people.
And that's our kind of governor.
I've got plans. We've all got them. But Bruce Poliquin's plans would put Social Security benefits at risk. He planned to raise the retirement age and cap retirees' cost of living increases. He even opposed allowing Medicare to negotiate cheaper drug prices. But Jared Golden didn't just plan. He passed legislation to cap seniors' drug costs and let Medicare negotiate drug prices. Jared Golden is the man with the right plan.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Tonight's sports is brought to you by Body Graphics Tattoo and Piercing Studio. Visit us at our new location at 27 Bangor Mall Boulevard in the Mid-Mall, 478-7856.
Welcome back in. Thank you for staying with us. It was a historic day for Maine women's soccer on Sunday, hosting their first playoff game in over 5 years and winning 4-1 over NJIT. Now, they're just 2 wins away from a trip to the NCAA tournament, and a longtime rival is up next. Ryan Sudol has the story.
As the sun was just rising in Orono Tuesday morning, Maine Black Bears women's soccer was wide awake, and for good reason. For the first time in 7 years, they're headed to the America East Conference semifinals after beating NJIT on Sunday.
I mean, it means everything. This is something we've been working towards for so long. We've put so much of our lives and so much energy into this, so it really would just be a dream come true.
And they have every right to believe. Their defense has allowed less than 1 goal a game this year.
Our back line is just great, and the communication we have on the field and just the connection we have off the field is why we're doing so well. We work really hard to make sure we're covering, and if one of us has a bad tackle, just giving each other some uplifting information, and really comes down to trust.
Speaking of which, the Black Bears are looking to trust in their offense, and they really stepped it up against NJIT. 4 goals, 4 different players.
Everyone is putting in the effort to get forward. Everyone is connecting. When you have so many people that can score, how do you hold us back? You can't.
But in their way, the 2 seed, New Hampshire. The Black Bears have only beaten their arch rivals once in their last 7 tries.
It's going to take a lot. I mean, if we just trust in each other, if we go about it the same way when we went against NJIT, getting at them and being confident and, just unsettle them for the first 10 minutes. UNH is a very aggressive team, very physical, so we want to show them that we are too, and just get in their heads a bit and then connect and play forward and get in on goal and have fun.
That semifinal matchup takes place this Thursday at 6:05 at New Hampshire. In Orono, I'm Ryan Sudol, Fox 22, ABC 7.
Thanks, Ryan. Looking forward to see what the Black Bears can do at New Hampshire. Let's stay with soccer now, and we'll stay with some playoff soccer, too. On Wednesday night, the Old Town Coyotes will play for the Northern Maine Championship for the first time in program history. After a close win over third-ranked Presque Isle on Saturday, Old Town played their way to the Class B North Finals. And prior to the class change, the Coyotes had made the Eastern Maine Finals once before that, so first time in Northern Maine's. That was about 20 years ago. They say the team has come a long way in the past few years. They finished second in Class B North this fall, and they say their success is just a direct correlation to the work they put in.
I mean, it's really crazy because of how hard we've worked for these past 4 years, and we're finally able to have a chance to really show our talents off, and having everything be broadcasted and people rooting for us is really nice. It's a really nice change.
Well, I mean, we work really hard. We try our best. I know everyone does that, but we just are super hungry. We've never made it this far as long as we've been here, so everyone's just super excited.
I'd be excited, too. The Coyotes earned a matchup against top-ranked Herman, who hasn't lost a game against a Northern Maine opponent in years. So either the Hawks or the Coyotes will be crowned Class B North champs Wednesday night at Cameron Stadium. And for Old Town, they're kind of embracing that underdog role, and they know that if they play together, they'll have a chance.
I just think going in as an underdog kind of gives us an upper hand, just because we have nothing to lose and we're not kind of scared of them like we used to be. So I think they have more of a fear, and we're kind of just going in fearless. So that's exciting.
6:30 start for that one on Wednesday. Looking forward to see what happens there. That's all the time we have for sports. Here's Jeff Weller with your full 5-day forecast. Jeff?
All right, Tyler, thank you. Your full weather is brought to you by Thornton Brothers in Lincoln. Buy a new or used Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram vehicle from us today. You'll make the drive, we'll make the deal. Let's talk about temperatures. So here we are, November 1st, with temperatures back in the mid-60s today here in Bangor, low 60s in Millinocket. We'll take it. Makes you wonder when we're going to pay for this, and that's not on the radar quite yet. In fact, warmer temperatures are on the way for this weekend. All right, so for tonight, though, low temperatures pretty much near 40. Then tomorrow, a nice recovery, back up near 60 tomorrow, but slightly cooler tomorrow. You may notice it with that northwest breeze throughout the afternoon. Okay, so right now the wind is out of the west-northwest, around 0 to 10 miles per hour. This will actually go calm for a couple hours tonight, and I know you know what that means. The calm wind, clear skies, radiational cooling could mean some dense fog for us later on tonight. Right now, though, not so much. Clear skies pretty much everywhere across the area, but there are a few spots now beginning to get some fog that will increase in coverage and intensity overnight tonight. So if you're driving 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, be ready for some dense fog out there late tonight. Lots of clouds out there right now, and there's a couple sprinkles, like 2 sprinkles out there currently that are going to fall apart tonight. But still, just be ready for a sprinkle or 2 this evening into early parts of tomorrow morning. The general trend, though, is all of this is going that way away from us, and we are in a drying out phase again. In fact, our next chance for meaningful rain after really the sprinkles out there tonight, really not until Monday or Tuesday of next week, so a quiet stretch of weather ahead. Let's walk you through it. So tonight, looking at clear skies again, or clearing out skies tonight, with some dense fog, locally dense fog in there too. Here's tomorrow morning, lots of sunshine. Don't forget your sunglasses tomorrow. And then throughout the day tomorrow, a very nice day, a light northwest breeze, slightly cooler than today was. And then tonight, or tomorrow night, no problem at all. Into Thursday, same story. Maybe a couple increasing clouds on Friday, but other than that, though, we're dry with moderating temperatures into the 60s again this weekend, and a couple of us could flirt with 70 this weekend. Our forecast then tonight, though, is lots of clear skies out there. Low temperatures generally down near 40 to 45 degrees. There could be a little bit of dense fog in there later on tonight. For tomorrow, okay, here we go. Lots of sunshine and breezy, though. You're going to notice that north breeze gusting near 25, making waves on the lakes tomorrow. Look for high temperatures. I went with 61, but a couple of you could do a couple degrees less than that tomorrow afternoon. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows a story. So 61 tomorrow, a bit cooler Thursday, partly cloudy skies. But then look what happens. Friday, 66. Saturday, 68. Sunday, 69. The time change on Sunday. We're dry through the weekend. Maybe some rain getting in here Monday to Tuesday of next week.
Wow.
Right.
So overall, just great weather, and yeah, we'll take that. I mean, we've been experiencing.
The streak continues.
Yeah, it really does.
It's just been so awesome lately. Cannot complain.
Yep. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. All right. Well, there's still more to come after the break. Stay with us.
In Maine, our independence, hard work, and freedoms mean everything, but not to Paul LePage. He's repeatedly attacked women's reproductive freedom. LePage supported letting states ban abortion with no exceptions for rape or incest, defunded family planning programs, and told extremists we shouldn't have abortion. He's a risk to our health and freedom, and it's why we can't go back to Paul LePage. The top funder of Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
After 9/11, Jared Golden joined the Marines and served the country he loves. When he returned, he ran for office to serve the state he calls home. He passed legislation to cap the cost of insulin for seniors and lower drug prices for people across Maine. But Bruce Poliquin, he went from Wall Street to Washington to serve himself, taking thousands from drug companies and voting against capping costs. Jared Golden, from here, for us. Moderate PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Senator Joe Baldacci, hardworking, independent, and effective. Joe has always been a champion for Maine seniors. Joe Baldacci sponsored and passed the legislation that generated more than $90 million to nursing homes in Bangor and across the state that have been hit hard by the pandemic. Joe Baldacci delivered on funding to protect health care and important services for thousands of Maine seniors. Joe Baldacci, hardworking, independent, and effective, delivering results for Bangor and Herman.
Janet Mills? 4 years ago, we filmed an ad here supporting her. But Janet has been a disaster for the state of Maine. She's driving up inflation, and her decisions have permanently harmed small businesses and our economy.
And she's bad for seniors and Maine families. Mills raised our electric bill, and she's pushing up home heating costs.
We need Paul LePage now.
We've got to vote for Paul LePage.
Janet Mills is crushing Maine families. Under her watch, Mainers will face rolling blackouts this winter, putting our most vulnerable, like seniors, at risk. And because of Mills and Joe Biden's failed agenda, Mainers will pay 72% more for home heating oil and $60 more each month for groceries. Mainers can't afford more of the failed Mills agenda. Vote no on Janet Mills. The top funder of Maine Families First is Thomas Klingenstein.
Jared Golden and the Democrats by the numbers. The worst inflation in 40 years. Home heating, groceries, gasoline, all through the roof. 87,000 new IRS agents. $20 billion in new taxes on the middle class. All because 83% of the time, Jared Golden votes with Biden and Pelosi. On November 8, stop the Democrats' war on the middle class. Defeat Jared Golden. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
So I don't know about you, but I am very much looking forward to the World Series game tonight.
It should be an exciting, highly anticipated game, and we'll be back right afterwards on Fox 22. You can catch us there. Good night, everyone.